Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. And, you know, what's up? What's up, guys? How's it going? I apologize for my lack of streams recently. I don't know if it's the winter. I don't know if it's the winter that's just kicking the hell out of me or whatever, but I saw the other day that Minnesota is like in its longest gloomy period ever or something. So it's like perpetually being in the shade of Jamie Markey or something. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I hate it. I hate it. And it is just messing with my sleep, which is already a disaster. And all of that fun stuff. But we are here today. I have some more Ronversations for you guys. That's going to be the bulk of the show today. Ronversations. More Ronversations. I thought it was funny. I don't know. Maybe you guys disagree. That's okay. And if you do disagree, rude. Disagreement is rude. It is also, if you do it in private, it is white supremacy or whatever. So just so you know. You know, have you guys noticed, this has caught me, the amount of parody SJW style accounts, like they're parodies of prominent SJWs or whatever that are out there, that they're fooling. I mean, they fool me constantly. I was thinking of this one Star Wars girl, that Star Wars girl or whatever. She got fooled by a parody account. And it was funny. The problem is, though, like the parodies, you can't make them ridiculous enough for you to not believe that someone said it. That's the amazing thing about them. They're like too good. It's not that the parodies are particularly good. Don't get me wrong. But the real people that they're parodying are so absurd that you just can't tell. You're like, yeah, I think they would say that. Yeah, I think that's true. Oh my gosh. Oh, the parody account of Emmett Plant. Wait, didn't Emmett Plant get destroyed, get removed? Or was that the parody account? Must have been the parody account that got taken down, huh? That's too bad. That's too bad. That would have been funnier. Or did he get a temporary suspension? That'd be funny too. That guy's an absolute cuckbag. Anyway, I'm already off topic. Ooh, create a highlight video. YouTube is giving me features while I'm live streaming. They're trying to tell me what to do. It's like I can't multitask like this. I can barely run a show. So there's some stuff out there that I like to cover as kind of a warm up. Anyway, I saw the parody stuff get that Star Wars girl. I saw another thing, and now I don't know. Whenever I see something, I don't know if it's parody or if it's true. But I assume it's all true, even if it is parody. Because life's too short for things not to be true. Speaking of that, like I was saying, there's some little things that I'll talk about before we get into the Ronversations. Again, make sure we get a bunch of people in here for for the bulk of it. I don't know if I'm ready for this. I might be emotionally unable to do Ronversations. It's too traumatic. This is an abuser. This is an abuser. And really, this is an abuser, right? Like that's the thing we're faced with here at the end of the day, that's what makes this all so terrifying, is that this is abuse. This is how abusers operate. And this is one who thinks he's recovered. Claims to be better, but, doesn't acknowledge his own abuse. Well, I wasn't that bad. I wasn't horrific abuser. I mean, did you kill anyone? No. But if that's the bar, anyway, and believes he's cured, but acts in this way. It's controlling, it's domineering, it's manipulative. I mean, less so of me, right? You have to have some level of something to be an effective abuser. It'd be hard for Ron to abuse me because I don't respect him in any sort of way. So that's the difficulty there. But it's just the lack of acknowledgement of what he even did. He doesn't realize that you can't batter someone into compliance. What is up with these hairs in the back? I need a haircut. Badly. He doesn't acknowledge that you can't batter someone into submission and call that healthy. That's not how this works. It's not how normal people function and operate and coexist or whatever, with all the little symbols. You can't batter people into submissions. And this is really the problem with social justice activism, right? It's compliance via force. Compliance under duress. Look, if you don't do what we say, if you don't go with what we have determined is the right, proper course of action, we'll take your job, we'll take your house, we'll take your kids, we'll take your food, we'll take your reputation, we'll take whatever it takes. We will ruin you. We will end you for the wrong think, for the wrong opinion, for our perception of your wrong action. I see you hug someone and don't like it. Now you need to go. So that's this whole thing. That's what Ron is. And someone on Kiwi Farms mentioned, put it this way. I thought this was enlightening, and I apologize for not remembering your Kiwi Farm screen name, but you'll know who you are if you happen to see this. The way they put it was, Ron was trying to destroy Vic to rebuild him based off of something that Ron's therapist told him, right? Excuse me, which is true. Ron needs everyone to get better in the way that Ron thinks that he got better. That's why he recommends these stupid books. I don't care about your books, Ron. I actually know how to have friends. I can do that. I don't need a book to tell me how to do it. I certainly don't need a book from a sociopathic little mongrel like you. Like, why? Why would I think that you're good at this? I don't know anybody who thinks you're cool. So why at all would I think to take advice from you? Actually, when I look at you, you seem decidedly uninteresting. You seem decidedly uninfluential. You seem decidedly meek. I don't think you're an interesting presence. And I watched your deposition, man, and you are grating to be with. Like, your jokes don't land. You don't diffuse situations in the way you think they do. Nothing about you is compelling to make me think, you know what? I want to emulate that. No, no, no. Never would I want to emulate you. So, well, thank you for the book recommendations, but it's that's like recommending something I will definitely not read. Just so we're clear on that. But anyway, I'm talking too much about Ron. We're going to have a lot of Ron talk in a little bit. And I think you guys will be surprised because you might think that we've reached the peak levels of this conversation. We haven't, I don't think. And you may be surprised where it goes and just how far Ron is willing to take it. But, you know, you'll see, I guess. You'll see, and you can make up your own mind on that. Other stuff we're going to talk about a little bit before we get started. Meyer versus Wade. The judge has read, the objections to the recommendation. And I misstated the judge. I said that the magistrate was Lee Yakel and the judge was someone else. I got that backwards. The actual judge is Lee Yakel and the magistrate's judge's name I don't remember because it's a magistrate. Are they even important? I don't think so. So Lee Yakel has adopted fully the recommendation and report from the magistrate judge. So that means that Wade's online statements are not at issue in this case. Wade's defamatory statements to an audience in Houston, Texas, those are at issue. And the tortious interference being the phone call from Mark Wade to Antarctic Press is at issue in this case. So now the question is, what happens next? What happens next is the case will go forward as scheduled. If you remember, the trial date is April of 2020. So we've got, or 2021, sorry. So we've got a long road to the courtroom, but on that long road is this really fun thing called discovery. And discovery is where you get to demand the other side answer questions through like interrogatories. You can write these really trickily worded questions that make them answer yes or no, and either answer makes them look bad. Those are great. They could do further depositions of Wade or other people. They can issue document requests. They could try and find out who Wade had contact with and other things like that. They can do all sorts of stuff like that. The question is merely how much reach does the court have in over the entities or people that they need to cover. So we'll be seeing what happens. I don't know that we'll be seeing a lot of it. A lot of this is going to go on behind the scenes, and whatever gets filed, we'll see, or whatever they decide to disclose. And then, of course, Wade gets to do the same thing to Meyer, right? Wade gets to ask Meyer about, his, he gets to find out if Meyer ever told Wade if he lived in Texas, since apparently Wade still doesn't know where Texas even is on a map. What even is Texas? He's not aware. He's not aware of Texas, and therefore he shouldn't have any lawsuits filed against him ever because he never took geography. Doesn't know. So anyway, that's the update. I'm not going to pull up the document. It's very short. It's to the point. The judge just ignored the objections and went ahead with accepting the report and recommendations from the magistrate. And that's now how it goes. So there's that. I came across a lawsuit that I found funny, and I'm gonna follow it. I'm gonna follow it. I don't know that it's gonna amount to anything because again, it's one of these political lawsuits, and these are often, these are ads, right? Like the Tulsi Gabbard one, it's an ad. It's a piece to try and get some. Why? Huh. Hold on just a second. Weird. There it is. We're not going to go through this whole document. I was having trouble finding it. That was weird. We're not going to go through this whole document. I just thought the first couple pages are pretty funny. So let me pull that up real quick. This is Devin Nunez versus CNN. And, you know, I haven't looked super deep into this lawsuit yet. I love, he comes out swinging, right? So the complaint is that CNN defamed Devin Nunez by saying that he went to the Ukraine to talk to some guy and dig up dirt on Joe Biden. So here we go. Plaintiff Devin Nunez seeks compensatory damages and punitive damages in amount not less than $435 million. Pre-judgment interest on the principal sum awarded by the jury from November 22nd to the date of judgment at the rate of 6% per year, pursuant to the Virginia Code. Look at this. CNN is the mother of fake news. It is the least trusted name. CNN is eroding the fabric of America, proselytizing, sowing distrust and harmony. It must be held accountable. On November 22nd, 2019, CNN published a demonstrably false hit piece about plaintiff. CNN intentionally falsified the following facts. Look at that. Falsified following facts. Rip them apart with alliteration. It's an attention grabber. It's an attention grabber every single time. So here we have a chart. CNN, fake news. The truth. This is fun. Like, you might as well, right? Like, if you're a politician and you know this is going to be covered, this is how you write the document, I guess. Nunez was in Vienna. Devin Nunez did not go to Vienna or anywhere else in Austria in 2018. That's a big lie. Big material fact that's misstated. He went to Vienna. Next, Devin Nunez met with Victor Shokin to discuss digging up dirt on Joe Biden. Devin Nunez has never met Victor Shokin. This meeting never took place. Victor Shokin doesn't know and hasn't even heard of Devin Nunez. And then here's some stuff. Person near Shokin just denied the claim, and he denies it. Began communicating with Lev Parnas around the time of the Vienna trip. Did not communicate with Parnas in December 2018 around the time of the Vienna trip, a trip that never happened. So they're going through. Look at this guy. Look at that face. It's like a pumpkin gained sentience. Here's Lev Parnas. So they go through talking about, you know, what happened. Basically, CNN published this article. It seems to be largely untrue. Here's the parties is Nunez. Look at this. Look at how much he fluffs himself. He did this in the Twitter lawsuit too, right? Just look at how important I am. Defendant CNN is a Delaware corporation headquartered in Georgia. And he brought this in Virginia. Nunez brought this. Nunez is California. CNN is in Delaware. Brought this in Virginia. I wonder why. Vicky Ward published she's the senior reporter, is another person in this. Chris Cuomo covered it. Who cares about that guy? Warren Cuomo acted as agents of CNN. Brian McMahon is an attorney. This is the guy who represents Parnas. This is the guy they interviewed. CNN's defense in this that they go with is that Brian McMahon, they were just covering what he said, right? By the way, CNN is using the Alex Jones defense. Alex Jones in his defamation suit for the Newtown, Connecticut shooting. He said, well, I just interviewed this guy, and this guy, you know, his defamation. That's part of his defense, is that he wasn't saying the statements they interviewed it, what the interviewee was. So Edward Brian McMahon is here as well. Shokin, Prosecutor General of Ukraine. Joe Biden. Hey, what's up, Biden? Is in here. Dmitry Firtash, Ukrainian oligarch who lives in Vienna, Austria. Okay. So jurisdiction. So this is the interesting question. Why? I want to know why he chose Virginia in this. We're not going to dwell too long on this, but I'm just curious. So they have diversity jurisdiction because nobody lives in the same state. That's the argument here. And the value of the suit is over $75,000. Again, he's asking for $435 million. CNN is subject to personal jurisdiction in Virginia pursuant to Virginia's long arm statute. And venue is proper in the Richmond Division of the United States Court. Oh, okay. I guess they're going with this being in Virginia. It committed multiple intentional torts and acts of defamation, whole or in part, in Virginia, causing plaintiff substantial injury in Virginia. CNN has minimum contacts with Virginia. So they're arguing that this should take place in Virginia under the Virginia Code. CNN's argument is that this belongs under California law. We're not going to go through this. CNN has filed a 12B6 motion to dismiss. That is a dismiss for something called a failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted. Okay, so this is very common in federal civil lawsuits that you would file a 12B6 motion, because if you win, you win, like a TCPA, right? It's a motion to dismiss. You win, you win. The cost of entry to the 12B6 motion is very low. And they basically say that he was required under California law to demand a retraction, and he didn't do it. But of course, Nunez's argument is going to be that this is under Virginia law, not California law. So they're going to have a nice battle over jurisdiction and venue. And then they're going to have a nice battle over the proper applicable law. So that's fun. I just thought that you guys might enjoy knowing that this is out here. I might try and do a summary video on this. I just found this today, but it was filed back. When was this filed? This was filed in December 3rd, 2019. So you move fast. Defame November 22nd, filed a lawsuit December 3rd. So that's just a fun thing we'll be talking about as we go forward. I'll take a look at it and follow it. If it develops, it's great. Nunez is suing everybody. Nunez is like, nope, I'm suing CNN, I'm suing Twitter, he's suing all sorts of organizations. He's just filing lawsuits off left and right. I hope he gets one of them to stick. Just one is enough to expose some of the nonsense that's been going on. But that's out there. I did a short video today on Blizzard because they released Warcraft 3 Reforged, and they updated the end user license agreement to claim ownership of any mods or of any game modes or maps that are created using their tools and uploaded to their server. So, or no, it's not just uploaded to the server. Anything that's created, that's theirs. Your labor is Blizzard's. Blizzard owns it. And if you don't like it, don't play the game. That's the answer. Don't play the game. I think it's a stupid move by Blizzard. But, you know, there's not much you can do about it. Now, some people are posing questions in my comment section, and I'll address a couple of them here real quick. They're talking about this being an adhesion contract or end user license agreements not being enforceable. Incorrect in the United States. In the United States, end user license agreements are presumptively enforceable, even if you don't read them and just click OK. Doesn't matter. You're using the software. You clicked OK. That's an affirmative action that puts you under an end user license agreement that is not considered unconscionable. So at the point of participating in their game and using their tools to create a mod, you are assenting affirmatively to the end user license agreement and putting yourself under it, and courts will find that presumptively reasonable and binding. No, you don't get to modify the contract. You don't get to negotiate anything. I know, and I agree. I agree with all those arguments, but they fail in U.S. courts. They just do. For now. So the only way you get around it right now is by unconscionability. Now, you may be able to say that the amount of labor and stuff that you put in there makes this an unconscionable contract, but there are other tools out there that you can use to do this stuff. So the court's going to look at that and say, you didn't have to. They can't force you to use their stuff. It's not the only tool set out there. So it's not unconscionable on its face. You're doing this with knowledge, like you're engaging in it. So how can you expect to use someone else's property and make money? I mean, despite the fact that people do it all the time, I get it. I agree. But in the US, end user license agreements are presumptively reasonable. They're presumptively binding. And one person asked a good question about how can they bind you if you buy the product and then see the end user license agreement? If you disagree, then you're just out. Well, you actually have, I believe, some level of right to return the software for specifically a dispute of the end user license agreement. And I think it's within 30 days. Might be 60. But I believe a court resolved this issue back in the 90s because the same thing came up. Like, well, I buy the box and then I open the box and there's this, at the time it was paper, right? Or this folded piece of paper that's like 2 miles long with this license agreement that I don't agree with. I should, and now the store won't take back my thing. Well, the software company will. Never mind the fact that doing that refund process and the quartering, I think, did a video on the refund process. And from what I understand, it's actually kind of complicated. But there is a refund process, and I believe they're required to have that process in place. So hopefully that answers those questions. But you should check out the video and share it around and stuff or whatever, you know. Because it's there. That's what it's there for, watching and sharing. But yeah, and if they refuse to refund, your remedy is to take them to court. And the question is, what would you win out of it? Blizzard's a big company, and these are hundreds of millions of dollar properties. So there's potential for punitive damages there. But on the whole, who's going to sue over $50, right? That's a tough call. That's a tough call. So. But yeah, so it's a mess. It's a mess. And end user license agreements are terrible. I hate them. They're bullying. I mean, they are bullying of customers, and it's garbage. But you know, that's what it is. Again, the remedy: Blizzard, don't buy their game. Don't play it. Don't mod for them. Don't do it. Do something else. Go find I'm sure there's software companies out there who are willing to open up their modding community to people who want to do it. Blizzard has told you they don't want you. They don't want you. They put up the whites, Blizzard, not race. Blizzards are white. The whites only sign, right? And you other people can get lost. Blizzard's a racist. There it is. Oh, we got there. Thank God. It is 2020. Now we know. Blizzard's a racist because of their EULA. All right, next. let's hit some super chats and then we can get into some Ronversations here. West Nile Chan says, listening to the previous stream, Ron sounds like a born-again Christian who hasn't changed at their core, is just using a moral authority and well-intentioned idiots to act out his abuse and control issues. Yeah, except I think he would bristle at being called a Christian. Maybe. No, or he's the Christian and Monica's the atheist? I can't remember. The Agrilith says, so I learned from Discord today that if you have premarital sex, you're not a Christian, and that a girl giving her phone number but not wanting a relationship makes her a whore. What's your non-litter box views on this? Sounds like one of my favorite people making a logically sound, brilliant argument. This is the kind of wonder that you get in the Rekieta Law Discord, where you learn that you're not a true believer if you've ever done anything that goes against one person's personal ethos. It's fantastic. Also, of course, women who give out phone numbers and don't intend to marry the person that the phone number is given to, they're automatically whores. The whores of Babylon incarnate, and maybe should be stoned to death. I don't know. That's probably the solution, I think. How dare you give out a phone number? We need to stop this rampant thoughtery. This is why I drink. RZQDW says, either I ate something bad today or I caught the Awu flu. Please don't send me to Wuhan. Get quarantined. Get quarantined. Find China and go there and stay. You cannot stay where you are. How dare you? Perception Check says, Homeless Berg tricked a kick vicar into agreeing to a fake story about Vic. That was pretty funny and disgusting all at once. Oh man. Oh yeah, I got to talk about Vic's Unlocked stream. I'll do that in a second. Scythar X says, Monica would call you on time and straight, but we both know how truthful she is. Rude. Rude. Trashtown TV says, Ron, if you stop lying about Vic, I'll give Monica the rim job of a lifetime. Oh! Oh! No! Why? Why would you say that? I'll eat her butthole like it's Thanksgiving dinner. As she uses the remote to give you a prostate massage. How is that the least offensive thing in that entire message? Imagine the buttons gliding past your sphincter. Oh, sounds good. No. No. Oh, that was uncouth. There's a smiley emoji at the end. That was uncouth of you, sir. Why? Morty J says, to Ron, I recommend the book The 5 Love Languages. Maybe then you won't get chatted next time and left in the dark, you turbo cuckadoodle-doo. Imagine being so blown out that someone is in proximity to your not wife. Your not even wife. Dear Lord, that you feel like you need to hit them? Oh boy. Oh boy, that's embarrassing. Mike Downey says, that dude looks like he would rape the great pumpkin Charlie Brown. That guy, let me just remind you who he's talking about here. Look at this guy. Why is this even a thing? It's like someone printed off the picture of a face. Like they took a picture and printed it off, but then stretched it out over a plate in 2 dimensions. Look at how wide that is. Oh my God. Dave A says, howdy, Nick. Hope y'all are feeling better. Yeah, the family's all good. I feel good. I just am exhausted. Just tired. I'm so sorry that I keep complaining to you guys about how exhausted I am. I should be chipper. I should be chipper for the squad, right? I'm sorry. I'm not tired. Sleep's for cucks. Question. Did you get/read the Twitter DM about the Riot Game and Nintendo lawsuits? I'm super interested in your opinion. Keep on keeping on, brother. I feel like I did, but I don't know where they are. I'll find them. Alteris V says, long time no dono, Mr. Rekieta. I like that. I was looking forward to some nighttime entertainment. While I was browsing a product, I found out that it was made by Mosquito Cock and promptly died laughing. Thanks for replacing hentai. Well, it's my pleasure. My pleasure. Welcome back to donating. Keck7Go says, in Discord, you also learned that 18 naked cowboys in the showers at Ram Ranch. Big heart throbbing cocks wanting to be sucked. 18 naked cowboys wanting to be effed. This is a Christian stream. Cowboys in the showers at Ram Ranch on their knees. Keck, no. No. Why? Why do this? Why do this? Why you do this? It's not okay. Oh my gosh. But yes, you can join the Discord by joining the Patreon, by joining New Project 2 at the $5 level or higher. Those are the ways to join up and yeah, enjoy the camaraderie of the Discord, all united in hate against one person. It is strictly doxing server. There's actually nothing happens other than doxing in it. It's just doxing. We're on person number 486,000 for doxing. Our goal is to dox the planet. That's what's actually happening in the server, right? This is obviously a parody, and I'm sure it'll be sent promptly to Discord. Well, also in the NSFW channel, there is Keck reenacting Ram Ranch on a daily basis. He has a new video every day. It's a little bit disturbing. But yeah. So that is that. Oh, we got one more over here on Streamlabs. The Pie Baker says tonight's stream is sponsored by McCuckold's. Enjoy our amazing soy burgers with a side of extra salty fries, and bring the little ones for a domestic abuse meal that comes with a toy remote. Remember to supersize it, like Monica. Watch Two Girls, One Cuck in theaters. So there you go. Thank you. Oh boy. All right, let's take a peek at some things here. 1 second. We've got all right. I'm gonna pull up the GoFundMe, of course. Here's the GoFundMe. We're at $273,172. Thank you guys. For Redwall is the most recent donation of $127. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. 4 is an interesting name. But there you go. Here's the GoFundMe. Here's where it's at. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. You guys know where it is. The appeals brief we'll be looking forward to February 18th when that's due. I think that's probably, if I had to guess, that appeals brief is going to take several shows to go through. So just beware of that. The word limit on it is 27,000 words, but they may ask for more because there's so many issues, right? There's at minimum 25 issues that need to be brought up. And 27,000 words on a legal document that's double spaced, you're talking 70 plus pages, I believe. So if they fill out that word count, this is going to be a very long document. If they get more, if they get an exception to the word count to add more words, you know, this could be a really long thing. So that's going to be a couple day stream. And of course, as it happens, I'm probably going to be out of state when it drops. So we'll be doing that from the road. I will do my best to make a good show of it and get everything to work out. But that's what it's going to be. I will be on the road. Finally, last thing before the documents, I am going, in case you have missed it, I will be in Canada. Lady Rackets will be with me. So much more interesting and more attractive person to meet is Lady Rackets. She will be with me at Kitchener Comic-Con in Kitchener, Canada. Come visit, come hang out. I'll be doing panels. I'll be hanging out, walking around. I don't know. I might have merch. Tillip, Can we get something made? I don't know what people want to buy. I don't know. Maybe we can just sell a bunch of universal remotes. I'll just go to the dollar store and buy bags and bags of universal remotes, and you can use them to beat your spouse mercilessly. And when you press a button, it'll make a sound that says, "I'm gonna kill a judge's kid," or whatever. That's actually a really funny product. I wish I knew how to make that. But yeah, that I don't know what all I'm gonna bring to Kitchener. I know I'm gonna bring me. I'm gonna bring Lady Rackets, and we are gonna have a good time. You can come. I believe tickets are free. Admission is free to this thing, but I'm pretty sure you can buy VIP tickets for a whopping like $19 or something. So throw the $20 in, help support the con, buy a ticket. Look, even if you can't make it, but you want to support cons that bring people like me out to them, buy a VIP ticket. It's $20. It goes a long way towards helping them. And that's great. I always say, vote with your wallet. If you believe in these places, if you want people to support content creators that you like, if you want them to stand up to angry little hate mobs or whatever, support them. Even if you can't go, toss a couple bucks their way. This one is especially, like, I get it. Like, if you can't go to a con, throwing $200 down for a VIP pass is a big deal. But if it's seriously $20, that's something you can do to support a con that really does a lot. And it's not a tiny con. It's not, this isn't Anime Expo, but it's also, I mean, we're talking, I believe 10,000 plus people are likely going to be at this con. So it's a good thing. And yes, there may be separate online packages. I don't know. Whatever. If I can help out in any way with that, I will. But yeah, support them if you feel so inclined. And here's a teaser. I will be at least one more convention this year. I'm waiting to disclose what that convention is until we have reached the agreement on when the appropriate time to disclose that is. But I can tell you that there is another convention I will be at as a guest, and it will be very fun. So once that is public, you guys will know, and I will be talking about and promoting it and talking about what I'll be doing there, and that will be very much fun. So as soon as I can let you know on that, I will, and you guys can hopefully come see me there if you can't make it to Kitchener, or you can come see me at both. That'd be great. So, and there may be another one too. I'm working on this stuff. I'm working on going to these conventions and fitting in. I will be at GaryCon, but not as a guest of the con. I will be at GaryCon as a guest of someone else, and that'll be a lot of fun too. So if you want to see me at GaryCon, you can, but I'm not there as part of the convention. Although I probably should tell them that I'm coming for something. Oh, in case they want to ban me or whatever. Whew. Okay. Next. Araman. Hey, what's up, Erica? Toss a coin to your grifter. Oh, chat room of plenty. Oh, chat room of plenty. Oh. Yes, always toss a coin to your grifter. The proverbial cup is always out or whatever. Architect of Fate says, this day shall gentle his condition, and gentlemen in England now abed shall think themselves accursed they were not here, and hold their manhoods cheap, while any speaks that fought with us upon Saint this Brexit day. That's right! Brexit is actually happening. I never thought it was going to happen. I never thought it was going to happen. Go to Fan Expo Toronto, you boomer? Well, tell them you want me there. Tell them you want me there. I don't know anybody at Fan Expo, but let me know. But yeah, the real Brexit is actually happening. The EU has, like, they got up and sang the Auld Lang Syne or whatever. A bunch of weirdos. What was that? What was that thing? They just, you know, it's Brexit is happening. They're going to be out of the EU like tomorrow, I think, or today in Britbong time. But Brexit is happening, so that's great. Colosign asked me to read his $5 chat. It's good advice for the larger audience. Sure, I will, because I read it and I agree. It says, buy the VIP pass and ask them to give it to a con goer as a gift. Win-win for all involved. So that's something you can do as well. There you go. All right. Felipe Move says, Victoron, I want you to hit me as hard as you can. Also, Victoron, stop trying to hit me and hit me. I'm dating myself with those quotes. Yes. Yes, you are. How dare you? Don't date yourself. Date other people. That's weird. Here we are, guys. Here's where we left off on Ron Toye, right? I believe this is the last message that we read. This one from me. I sent him back. Look at that. Look at my generosity. Look at that generosity. But yeah, let's delve deep into the anus that is Ron Toye. Oh boy. You can't tell me who to date. I can and will. Oh, I don't mean to do this. Vic did an unlocked video on Tuesday. Vic does an unlocked video every Tuesday. We talked about this last Tuesday. He did an unlocked video on Tuesday, and he mentioned that some conventions are having issues where some of their staff are saying, you know, if we invite Vic, the staff or the volunteers will go away. Conventions. Get better volunteers. Remember who runs your convention is actually you. There are usually more volunteers out there. Like if you're having problems with this, it's not just Vic, but if you're having problems with this, reach out. There are people who will probably volunteer in your community if they know that you need them. I would think. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe not. But you know, this is just one of those things. I also say hold them to it. Make them not go to their convention that they worked on. Ridiculous. But people need to nut up. You know, they do. They need to get over it. But what are you going to do? You can't force them to work. Like the 13th Amendment fixed that or whatever. So you gotta go ahead and get different volunteers, or get volunteers who aren't afraid. Like imagine being a volunteer and being like, I can't be at a giant building full of thousands of people if one person is there in a specific place. Just don't go by that person, right? Like just don't do that. That'd be a good idea, but Namrek Isto says, looks like Lemon is watching. 2 dislikes on the stream. Actually, that's not Lemon. If Lemons did 2 dislikes, that would be more than his disease-riddled lungs could take, and he would die. He's only actually allowed to do 1 dislike. That's too much physical exertion to do a second. So I know that's not him. I know it's not Shane Holmberg, because Shane only watches with one hand, because on his other windows he has Nike commercials just running nonstop, and you know, who has time for a second hand when those commercials are going? So anyway, all right, let's do this. Oh wait, I should mention. It's also interesting if you notice that Vic's I heard at least that Vic's unlocked stream was edited down, right, by people opposed to him. Fat that shall not be named. And when I said people, it's one people, but plural is necessary. Fat that shall not be named edited the video to make it say something different, to dilute the message, to use for their own purposes, because these people are liars, right? They're liars. Of course. They got nothing but lies. That's all they have. All right, here we go. Here's onto the video. I keep thinking of other things, but I'm done now. My brain is now empty. My brain is now empty. Now, as a warning to you guys, I have read only portions of this, so I'm going to be experiencing this in real time. It's almost like my brain glazes over when I'm faced with too much stupidity. So some of these, and also I'm busy. I'm really busy, and having like these long walls of text come in is something I don't abide. The dude does not abide. But here we go. Nick, I understand your position, but it is based on the belief that he has done nothing wrong. No! Bad Ron! Where is it? Where's a newspaper? No! Sheepdog, you're bad. He doesn't think he did it. It doesn't matter what I think here. Vic doesn't believe he did it. So your argument about the apology is incorrect. He didn't apologize for what you said he did. Also, he expressly denied what you're claiming in the very apology you're talking about. Anyway. But I also believe he did nothing wrong. I'm sorry. You wait in a line for hours to see someone, and you go up to them and they give you a hug or a kiss on the cheek or a kiss on the forehead. And I really don't think you're hurt by that. Maybe I'm awful. Maybe I'm a horrific monster for this. But I can't possibly believe that you go up to someone and you spend hours in line waiting. Hours. And I've seen these lines. I've never stood in one. I can't. I won't stand an hour in line for anything. Except at Disney when I'm forced to. That's it. They will spend hours in line to go see someone. And they go up and they get a hug and a kiss on the cheek. They don't say anything. They don't say, oh, please don't touch me. They don't, try and back the person off. They just get a hug and a kiss on the cheek or the forehead. And they're what? Traumatized? They're going to die from it? They're emotionally scarred? You can't convince me that this is reality. Because someone who has that much fragility, I don't accept that they're standing in line to go meet someone in person in the first place. Not even for whiskey. Well, it depends on the whiskey. I need the gavel for the no moments. That's a lot of gavel. We can do that. I do not stand in line to buy uncool shorts. How dare you? Now we have a gavel. Bullshit court is now in session. If your wife came to you crying and told you that a man hurt her, how would you react? I would ask what happened. I would react in all sorts of ways. It depends on what the hurt was. It depends on when the hurt was. If your wife, first of all, Ron, if your wife runs to you crying, you wouldn't know, I guess, because one, I'm not sure, Monica's not your wife, and two, I'm not convinced she can run. But either way, if Monica ran to you crying and you're like, oh, sweet baby sugar lumps, what happened? What's wrong? What's wrong? A man hurt me. Who hurt you? Vic Mignogna. That monster. What did he do? 8 years ago. Stop. 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 Let's back up a second. 8 years ago. Come again? What is this about? What is this about 8 years ago? What? Why are you crying now about it? What happened here? How did this manifest? Are you manipulating? If my wife and I are talking about something that happened years and years ago, even if there's hurt there, she doesn't come to me crying generally. Now, there may be tears involved in a conversation that brings up some old hurt. Sure. Right. Like that's reasonable. If my wife comes to me crying about someone that hurt her and it's 8 years ago, something else has happened. Something has triggered that event. And we're going to talk about it. What I don't do, though, let me tell you what I don't do, Ron. I don't go on Twitter and virtue signal to the earth. If someone has hurt my wife in some way, I'm going to confront them and we're going to talk about it. Because I'm a man, Ron. You're a bitch. There's a difference here. Okay? I'm going to confront that person. I'm going to approach them. We're going to deal with this and figure out what happened. And the proximity to the hurt is really going to temper how the response goes because I'm a logical person, not a moron like you. Right? I'm not going to spurg out and tweet 350 times calling someone a rapist over an event from 8 years ago that I don't understand, that for some reason my wife or fiance, as it were for you, has kept from you, even though she shares everything with you, except for all the stuff that she doesn't. I'm going to figure out what's going on, and I'm not going to go hard at someone who did something years and years ago without getting some context to that story. I love my wife, but I'm not an idiot either. Also, my wife wouldn't do that to me because we have a good relationship. One that's built on trust and respect, not on manipulation. You should try it. Would you treat her the way you treated Monica? How did I treat Monica? I haven't treated Monica in any way. I've never met her, you weirdo. Would you go on your show nightly and call her a fat whale? Yes, that's what I would do. Here's the thing, Ron. Monica didn't come running to me. What a stupid analogy. Where are you even going with this? Now, how would you feel if someone was doing that? People do that, Ron. I'm on the internet. People make fun of my wife. You know what I do? I ignore it. What do you think I'm gonna tell the internet to stop, you idiot? How would you feel if someone was doing that? They do! Your friends do! Do you trust your wife? Yes. Then you find out from a few of your wife's friends that the same person who hurt your wife hurt them too? How would you respond? Again, Ron, we're in different levels of what hurt means here. We're at different levels of what hurt means. And again, Ron, my wife and I have a relationship built on trust, not manipulation. You should work on that. But finally, let me put the nail in the proverbial coffin here. I don't go on Twitter calling a person a rapist, a sexual assaulter, a sexual predator. That's not how life functions. If someone hurt my wife, if someone sexually assaulted my wife, we're going to be pursuing legal options against them. If those aren't available, we're going to look to something else. We're not going to go on a social media brigade against them because, again, I'm a person, not an idiot. You're an idiot. I'm going to go on Twitter and fight him. What? Just go fight him in real life, you pussy. What are you doing? Like, if that's your goal, if you're such a sheepdog, go beat the hell out of him. Like, what? Like, that's your plan? Your plan is to react with violence against his career in a forum where he doesn't get to fight back? You are the biggest bitch on the planet. Oh my God. Imagine that this is your solution to problems, guys. Well, are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. Nick, you have seen the tweets in the takedown request. How many of those tweets did I mention that what he did was worthy of getting let go, but not jail? Ron, it doesn't matter. You wrecked his career. You ruined his reputation. You don't get to mitigate ruining someone's reputation. You set out to ruin someone, and then you did. Or tell people not to give up on him. Don't give up on the rapist. Like, listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. Oh my God. The benevolent abuser. Also, you have kids. What would you do if you're not sure if you have a daughter, but if you walked into a room or saw a YouTube video of her having 50-plus-year-old man whisper in her ear and then kiss her on the cheek or head? Oh, he gave me a link. He gave me a link. Creepy whisper, then kisses the back of her head. Just a moment. Just a moment. Let's read the description of this video, okay? Vic says the dark mousy line for me. For me. It's consensual, Ron. Colossal Con on June 6, 2014, I met Vic Mignogna and he said the dark mousy line for me twice, but the first one wasn't on video because he did it without me asking because Dark was on the headshot I bought for him to autograph. I nearly passed out in his arms. Look at the fucking rape! Are you serious? This is your evidence, you dumb pile of trash? She asked for it. She liked it. How would I feel? He kissed her on the back of the head? Sorry. This is their evidence. This is it. Championing the rest of the world, policing their own consensual decisions. A kiss on the back of the head. Oh my God. Ron, strike me down, Lord, if I am a sinner, I guess. If my daughter went to meet someone she respects and likes in some industry, even if it was a 50-year-old man, because he voiced a character she liked, and she asked him to say something, and he kissed her on the back of the head, you know what I'd kill him where he stands, Ron. That's what I would do. And then I'd tweet and try and get his corpse's career ruined. You're right. You got me red-handed, you fucking moron. Oh my God. You know that he has been talking about this stuff publicly for years, right? Vic telling people the rumors are coming. Yes, rumors. False. Rumors, Ron. Because, yeah, orbiters have been saying stuff about him that isn't true for years. That doesn't mean it's okay to ruin his career by saying that they are factual. You presented something to me just now that was completely out of context. And the context is in the video description, which tells me you can't read, which means you can't make book recommendations because you're too illiterate to do so. This is why the lawsuit was the worst idea ever. No, this actually isn't. PR would have been better, along with the plan I mentioned in previous DMs. Yes, an apology tour for being a rapist. Best plan ever, Ron. That's how I go to conventions. Listen, let me talk to you about my toxic masculinity and how horrible I am as a person. That's how dangerous I am to be around people at cons. That's a great idea, Ron. Sign me up. Also, I know, you know what cons are begging for? This is it. If you guys haven't figured it out, this is what convention owners want to bring to their show. Let's bring someone to our show to remind everyone there that they're not safe. That's the best thing to do. With advertising geniuses like Ron out there, marketing guru expertise, monsters like Ron out there, why would we ever need to spend a single dollar on advertising? You just go ahead and announce via Twitter, where the world is, that you're bringing someone to your con to tell them they're all unsafe constantly. That's a great reminder. No escapism. We don't want to go talk about anime. Oh, heaven forbid we go and check out the cosplayers and the vendors and the art. No, what I want to do is I want to go somewhere and talk about getting raped. That's what I want to do. Let me go. Ron, I did a panel on sexual assault. I did one at a convention. You know how many people really wanted to sit around and hear that panel? About 4. No one wants to sit around and hear a panel about sexual assault. Nobody. You know why? Because when you go to an anime convention, you're escaping the horrors of the world or the drudgery of the world. You're getting out of the normal day-to-day reality where cunts like you are trying to shove this shit down our throats 24/7. The reality is most people aren't getting groped or raped on the average day, Ron. Most people are not in danger of sexual assault on the average minute of their lives, and they don't want to be reminded of it constantly. And when they go to engage in their hobby, they definitely don't want to be reminded of it. That's where they go to get away from people like you, from boring, soulless husks who are reminding them of their mortgage payments. Oh my God, if there's ever anyone on earth that people want to get away from more than you, it's the tax man. But a close second is the one that they have to pay every month to keep them from stealing their home. Just get fucked, you little beta bitch. Nobody on earth wants to be around you or anyone like you. Ever. Your PR advice is the worst on the planet. Oh, dear Christ. Ron, why aren't conventions inviting you to talk about domestic abuse and how dangerous little weaselly men are? How about that? Why don't they just go around and why aren't conventions booking you constantly to talk about overcoming the horrors of being a wife abuser who threatens murder on children, Ron? Because people don't want to hear it. People don't want that in their escapism. They want to get away from that. Dear Christ. Imagine being this idiot. There are a ton of examples of Vic kissing girls without asking. Yes, people do affectionate kisses on cheeks, foreheads, backs of heads, shoulders, maybe hands, without asking all the time. There's nonverbal communication happening in these situations, and you can't get express consent for everything that you do. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. And there's a little thing called grace that most people are able to engage in. And I would argue that 100% of the people involved in all of these videos did engage in until later. He said, he kissed me on the cheek. I didn't really ask for it, but I was okay with it at the time. Okay with it at the time. Over and over and over again. But now looking back, I realize blah, 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 blah. No, you don't realize. No, you don't. You've been indoctrinated into a way of thinking that is antithetical to human experience, and it's ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd. You're okay with it at the time because even if you didn't ask for a kiss on the cheek or forehead, this isn't a tongue kiss in the throat. That's a different sort of kiss. This is something that is just platonic affection between people. Many cultures out there, by the way, use platonic kisses as expressions of greeting or affection every single day, and no one is screaming rape about it. One of them's Italian. The Pie Baker says, hey, McCuckold, ever come home to Monica, kiss her, hear that she got a new role that day, and then realize that that kiss tasted saltier than normal? Or asking how old they are. That's normal human interaction. This is the sign of a pedo. I'm 100% convinced. I do not trust Ron Toye, and he would not be allowed around my kids. Let's make no bones about this. If I was in a room with my children and Ron Toye walked up, I would put me between him and them because they are in danger of abuse. No bones about it. If Ron Toye is in a room with me, I would get my children to safety. Let's be very, very clear. And part of it is this attitude right here. Asking how old they are. Oh, yeah, that's a normal human interaction. How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? Disgusting. What a creep. What a creep. And maybe he didn't mean anything by it. Of course he didn't mean anything by it, Ron. He's not trying to have sex with everybody who walks up to his table. You weirdo. What world do these people live in? Oh my God. But it shows clearly that he doesn't understand boundaries, and that is why he needs help. No, he does understand boundaries. He understands normal boundaries. You guys are shifting the goalposts on what boundaries, you guys being a giant movement of like actually probably a couple thousand people on Earth are trying to shift the boundaries of what normal human interaction are. Most people know that this is just fine. Most people have no problem with any of this that happens. The overwhelming majority of people have no issue with this. None. You guys are, for some weird project, trying to make it this way, but this isn't how you even operate. Monica hugs. I've gotten tons of DMs from people who Monica has hugged without consent. Tons of them. Ron kissed without consent. Little kiss on the cheek. Monica got spanked in front of a crowd. Did she ask their consent? Putting it up on YouTube, did she ask their consent? Dear God, no. Nobody wants to see that. Not a soul wants to see Monica jiggle and bend over. Ugh. The correct answer to when is it okay for a 50-year-old man to kiss a 14-year-old girl that isn't his family member is never. No, it's actually not the correct answer, Ron. Because when you say kiss, a peck on the cheek, forehead, back of the head, those aren't kisses that mean anything other than a platonic display of camaraderie. This is absolutely ridiculous. Versus Vic's answer under oath when she asks for it. Yeah. Yes. That's fine. That's literally the definition of consensual contact. He doesn't kiss her in a sexual way. He's not trying to date her or get into her pants or do anything like that. And you know it. You're such a dishonest piece of shit that you know it to be true. You know he's not. And you're still maintaining this. You're disgusting. This is why people don't like you. S. Cybertaz says, for those aware of the fallout from the Donga saga, can we get prayers for the health of Adonis Paul? He's a good man and streamer and on his way to the hospital currently. What happened to Adonis Paul? Anyway, you have worked at companies and you know touching a woman's hair will get you fired, but you pushed that it wasn't right. No, touching a woman's hair won't get you fired if you're friends with that woman. If you're interacting, if she hugs you first, oh my God, a hug she admits to initiating in her own documents, Ron? You have built up a level of relationship where it's actually okay to do that. Touch someone's hair. Notice he doesn't say pull. It's touch. Have any of you ever touched a coworker's hair? Why is it always women, Ron? What about touching a man's hair? You sexist piece of shit. Why is it women? Oh, that's right, because you're a fake fucking moral Puritan. All of this sudden, your job is to defend women. Not standing up for men. How many men has Vic hugged? How many men has Vic kissed? On the cheek or forehead or back of the head? More than zero. Not fighting for them. Why is it okay for them, Ron? Why is it okay for them? Why is it okay for Vic to hug a 14-year-old boy at a convention? Why is that okay? It's not women, not girls. No, no, no. Sexist pile of garbage. Of course I pushed that it wasn't right. It's ridiculous. First of all, we don't even know what happened in that situation other than Jamie's story says he pulled her hair violently, jerked her towards him, and said something sexual. Vic denies that. Said he touched her hair. Said he bounced it. Said, oh, this is great. I love what you did with your hair. No, you wouldn't get fired for that. In almost any company I've ever heard of, you wouldn't get fired for that. I know you have called into question my self-awareness, but I wonder if you're able to turn that perception on yourself and identify why you chose to only hear one side. Wrong! This is... Ron, this is the problem with your self-awareness. That you consider that I've only heard one side because I disagree with you. If anyone in this case has heard both sides, oh my God, I'm the poster child. I've read all of it. I've read all of it. I don't believe you. Your wife, fiance, perpetual fiance, her story has more holes in it than a target at a shooting range. Wait, that was a weak analogy. We're rolling with it. Her story's full of holes. All sorts of problems with it. The biggest one is she went back to his room after dinner. Did you ask why? He couldn't force her. She's surrounded by friends and allies who would definitely stand up if she said something really weird happened. I'm not comfortable going back to Vic's room. This is your problem, Ron. You're projecting again. I don't accept your side story. It is less convincing to me than anything else. I listened to the depositions. I watched them. And your wife is a fucking liar. Fiance. So are you, by the way. You're also a simp. So that's a mixed problem. Your fiance is a liar. It comes across plain as day in her deposition. That's the problem with her stories, Ron. Problem is that I did listen. I did. What I heard wasn't convincing at all. Did you or Ty ever take the time to look at YouTuber to see if there were videos of Vic assuming consent? Assuming consent? The conflation. This is how social justice works, right? Assuming consent. Now, it sounds very scandalous. You assume consent constantly throughout your day. When you interact with people, you assume consent. You assume consent all the time. It's not a problem to assume consent on a hug because the person can say, no, thank you. But if you go like this and move in and you're in some sort of interpersonal connection, like maybe they just stood in line for over an hour to come see you and they're going, oh, like they're excited. They're brimming over. They're getting to meet someone that they, for whatever reason, idolize or put on a pedestal. I don't do this. Like, this is not my deal, but people do this constantly. It's okay to assume that that person who's coming up to you, who is brimming with excitement, who moves in when you motion for a hug, it's okay to assume consent. You don't have to get a verbal consent in that case. You don't. No matter what these people say, no matter what these people try and foist upon society, we've been operating this way for thousands and thousands of years, that there is nonverbal communication going on, and you can't just decontextualize that when you want to ruin someone's career. Get fucked. Oh my God. Mellow Coast with a big donation. Hey, thank you, buddy. He says, Mr. Rekieta. Followed everything while I was deployed in Africa. January 19th. You are the man. Kept me entertained and in the loop, shutting down Lungmoini and supporting Mr. Mignana. Keep on, sir. This stuff is the truth that needs to be said. Fucking awesome. Alpha AF. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. I can't... I have trouble accepting that these people exist. Insert clever name here says, this woman doesn't need protection offered by a man like Ron. Austin Heartless says, hey, Ron, did you assume consent when you beat your ex-wife with a remote? Good question. Good question. Sorry. If not, take a few minutes today and look up Vic Coffee Line. They asked for the coffee line, Ron. That's not assuming consent. Will you do the coffee line? They're asking him to do it. They're asking for him. Vic Glomp, that's when the girls come and tackle him. Ron, what is wrong with you? You have a mental deficiency. He's trying to kill me. That's it. That's the only thing I can conclude is Ron is trying to murder me right now. He's trying to drive my blood pressure into orbit. Not saying that Vic kissed me. Not saying every one of these were not with consent, but a ton of them he never asks at all. The 3 you provided. They're consensual. They're consensual. They ask for the coffee line. You know what Vic doesn't do at conventions? He doesn't just do the coffee line to every girl who walks up. They ask him to do the coffee line. It's a request from a fan to someone to recreate a moment from something that they like. It might not be illegal, but it definitely shows a lack of self-awareness or understanding boundaries. There isn't a boundary. They asked for it. It's the literal opposite. Let's walk through a scenario, Ron. Vic coffee line. Vic, will you do the coffee line Do I have your consent to do the coffee line? That is stupid. That isn't reality. You don't have to ask for consent after they've given it in the question. How do you function on Earth? How do you function in your life? How do you go through life like this? You don't. You're a liar. That's the problem. You're a liar. If someone comes up and asks Monica for a hug, she doesn't have to ask them to hug them. She doesn't have to ask back. I have a list if you would like to start there. Ron, Monica has hugged people without express consent. Don't be a moron. There you go. That's all that needed to be said. That's all that needed to be said. Then he has, Broly voice actor breaks down in teary-eyed response to accusations. These people are accusing me of rape! Not saying she hasn't. Oh, well, she's a rapist then. Sexual predator Monica Rial. I guess we all have permission now. Ron has given us permission. He said that Monica has hugged people without consent. This isn't about that. Oh, but it is, though. But it is about that, isn't it? It's absolutely about that. Monica Rial, sexual predator. You heard it from... Well, you can't say from the gift horse's mouth. That'd be Monica. You heard it from Ron's mouth. Ron is out here saying that Monica has hugged fans without consent. There it is. It is about the totality of the situation. Oh, now the totality matters, right? Now it matters. I can say with confidence that you won't find hundreds of videos of her hugging, of her kissing kids. That's because people aren't excited to see her. Or full body hugging. Yes, you can find videos of full body hugging from Monica. You absolutely can. Videos, pictures, they're out there. People have been posting them for the past year, Ron. You're a liar. Malik Foxon says, did Ron ask for your consent before sending you this retarded autistic bullshit? Clarify for me whether or not he asked you for your number before he started texting you. This is Twitter DMs, so he didn't ask me for my number. He did send it to me on Twitter unsolicited. Never asked my consent to send messages. He gets salty that I don't really answer him later. Like, that's coming still. And then finally, Super Saiyan Serg says, I am someone who is blind that loves Vic's work. Oh, I'm not joking. And do we have to call Ty? I don't know what blindness has to do with enjoying Vic's work. Did I say something about that? Oh my goodness. If so, I didn't mean to imply that blind people can't enjoy Vic's work. They could probably enjoy it better. The video that came out around the 3rd or 4th of February last year, have you seen that? He admits to assuming everyone wanted the same interaction with him and that he ignorantly hugged and kissed almost everyone, and some people didn't want that. Yes. A social media mob came up to him. But he actually doesn't know that people didn't want that. That's the interesting thing, and why you people are so disgusting for demanding this stuff from him. Oh, and when you got it, it wasn't good enough. Fuck you. You're such liars. You're such liars about this, and you know it. When you got the apology you say you were demanding, it was never good enough, and it never will be. It won't be good enough until he apologizes via bullet train to the forehead, and you know it. It doesn't make him a monster. Then why did you call him a monster? But it does show he needed help. No, it doesn't. It doesn't show he needed help. Not at all. exactly what Monica mentioned in her statement. In her statement. Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's what it is. Always self-serving, right? Always self-serving, this one. Why would a competent attorney advise his client to sue for defamation after they posted many public statements and videos like this are online? Because, Ron, it was still defamation. It's still defamatory. You've called him a sexual predator. Him saying, I didn't know that some people might not have wanted a hug. That's not a sexual predator. That's not a sexual assaulter. That's someone who hugged someone who might not have wanted it. He's not even apologizing to anyone directly because he doesn't know if anyone didn't want it. He doesn't know of a person who didn't want that hug. It's still defamatory. It doesn't get undefamatory because he said someone out there might not have liked my hug. Oh, hundreds of women being raped. It's not the same thing, you weirdo. Here we go. This comes down to it. Ron doesn't have control of his own narrative here, and this is where some of the cracks show, and this is great. This is great. This will tell you what Ron's thinking. Right here. Why would a random lawyer in Minnesota start a GoFundMe without asking? Then convince the guy to speak with his estate lawyer, who would then funnel info to the referral source to use as content to generate super chats. Let's talk about this. Why would a random lawyer in Minnesota, a YouTuber who covers social justice topics for the past year and lawsuits in these communities? So it's not like I'm just a random lawyer. A random lawyer in Minnesota didn't do this. Someone who talks about this stuff in nerd communities or geek communities or whatever you want to call it. Someone who actually covers this talked about it. Convince the guy to speak with his estate lawyer is a weird way to say gave a referral to. You know, Ron, let me explain how this works. If someone asks if I know an attorney, and I happen to know an attorney that practices in the jurisdiction and has all of the requisite competencies to prosecute or to give someone legal advice, I will refer them to that person. It's amazing. It's a miracle of creation. In Texas, every attorney who's licensed to practice law in Texas is competent to engage in civil litigation on all of the issues, including defamation. It's not a specialty. There's not some special license that you need. There's nothing that you need to do. You don't need to be double board certified like your weirdo Hellberger or whatever. You don't have to have any of that stuff. And by the way, he's not my estate attorney. He's not my estate attorney. He was my grandparents' estate attorney. He's not my attorney. Well, he is on some matters now, but he's not my attorney on my estate at all. So it's not my estate lawyer. And again, convincing a guy to speak with him, that's a weird way to say, I just referred him. So here's a guy in Texas, has a law firm. He's a senior partner. You might want to talk to him and see if the firm can help you out. Vic then made the decision to hire Ty. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science at all. Then funnel info to the referral source. Did you ever consider that the referral source is a YouTuber who covers stuff and they can disclose anything that's not privileged and not under gag or seal to anybody they want? Anybody. There's no gag order on your stupid text messages, you freaking moron. Not a thing. Nothing. They gave you the opportunity, by the way. You guys turned it down. We want everything transparent. You haven't been transparent at all, but then you wanted things untransparent later. That's interesting. Very interesting. And he didn't funnel info to the referral source to use as content to generate super chats. What a backwards world this is. No. They clearly wanted some stuff out in the public and found a way to get it out there. Weird. Big mystery, Ron. It's really not a mystery when you find out that people who watch Monica's video start supporting Vic. They watch Monica's deposition, they start supporting Vic. Why? Because she's a liar, and it shows. They can't watch your video. It's too depressing. They're like, what's this tadpole doing? What is happening? Is someone spamming? Oh, okay. All right. Did you ever care about him and his career? Yes, Ron. Still do. You don't. That's the funny thing here. Well, I mean, you cared about destroying his career. Honestly? Yes. Yes, Ron. I wouldn't be doing this if it was dishonest. Maybe you do things that are dishonest. I don't. How did you think him suing would save anything considering his history? It's not up to me if he sues, you weirdo. He sued. He sued you. He did. Him. He sued you. I'm not involved in that decision. I'm not his lawyer. I don't know how many times I can say it. He had already hired a lawyer before Ty as well. Wasn't happy. Why wasn't he happy? We weren't moving. We're moving fast enough. That was in deposition. We're moving. Hired someone else. Why? Maybe he wanted to sue you. I don't know. How do you think would save anything considering his history? It has. It has saved him. It has saved lots of things for him. It's told his fans that this is bullshit. It's told conventions that this is bullshit. People booked him. People started booking him after all canceling him because he sued and said, I didn't do this. That's part of the reason, Ron. The online videos, him having rumor panels for years. Ron, they hired him with the rumor panels. You know why? Because he was addressing things and calling it false. Doing it in a lawsuit isn't going to change that. The only thing changing his convention appearances is that you people are trying to ruin him actively, endlessly, intentionally interfering with his contracts. And you know it. You know those videos were never supposed to be shown without an agreement between all parties. Oh, no. Nope. Read the agreement, Ron. And by the way, everyone in that room knew what that agreement said. And it's not what you're saying. So maybe you're the retard. Maybe you're the one who is left behind. Maybe you were too big for the short bus or whatever. Ron, everyone, all of the lawyers knew that that agreement prevented simultaneous broadcasts without consent. That it prevented a present live stream without consent. And they consented to one live stream, and that was to your little harem room or whatever it was. That's it. Didn't have anything to do with later copies being distributed. It didn't have anything to do with that. Why do you think your lawyers didn't raise that issue to the judge? Because they would have gotten fisted harder than you get fisted. And you know it. Ty admitted to sending them to you. Oh no. That led to the doxing of ladies who never spoke out publicly. They did speak out publicly. They did. Spoke out in the lawsuit, right? How do you justify that? It's the internet, Ron. I don't have to justify it. It's not my fault when someone gets doxxed. I didn't dox them. I didn't do that. I censored their names from the stream or from the video. What do you want me to do about it? They all signed affidavits, by the way, except for one. That weird problematic one. One's really problematic, isn't it? That consensual kiss at Funimation Studios. That lady has never said a word publicly, or it appears privately. It seems like Monica told that story to Funimation, not her. You weren't trying to destroy his career, were you? No. JT Express says, saw a bottle of Lagavulin 16 for $100. Is it worth buying at that price? How much is it in your state? Oh my God, no. See if you can find a Walmart liquor store. This sounds weird, but Walmart liquor stores have them for like $75 in my state. They can get up to 90 at smaller liquor stores. We have pretty heavy tax. I don't know what state you're in, but the Walmart liquor store has Lagavulin 16 for like 75 in my state. It's about the cheapest. Perception Check says, given how mentally subnormal this dude is, does this make Monica Rial the JF Garipe of the anime world? Look, Monica Rial out here banging potatoes. Yeah, Lagavulin 16 is at the Walmart liquor store. I don't know why. They must have a deal with them. Okay. Do you think there was a question asked in Vic's deposition that we didn't have the answer to? Lots of them. Actually, yes. Because you guys got BTFO'd on a lot of those questions. If so, what question makes you the most nervous? None of them. I'm not nervous about the questions. You still don't have the answers. It's amazing. After all this time, this paragraph really tipped me off. After all this time, he still doesn't get it. He still doesn't understand why you or me or anybody would dare stand up for this man who is supposed to be dead. He doesn't get it. Still doesn't get it. So I mentioned the GoFundMe, but no plug for it. Oh yeah, he did. He did. Let's pull it up. Oh, there it is. Sorry. GoFundMe is $273,178. Thank you to Rocky J for donating to the GoFundMe. You're right. Thank you for catching that. 273,178. Nopes to Ron Toye. Right there. That's what it is. Every single dollar is a nope to this weird little pustule. Trouble Lord says character assassination is BS. More money to piss off Kick Vic. Also, Ron, listen to the lawyer saying shut up, keep quiet, and your nose clean. Then again, keep talking and keep helping Vic. Oh, okay. So yeah, still doesn't have the answers. Still doesn't understand. This is, why would a random lawyer in Minnesota start a GoFundMe without asking? He doesn't believe me, right? That's what this is. I don't believe random people do this. No one helps me and Monica randomly. Oh, sorry. Oh, God. Oh, that's a shame, right? But he doesn't understand why someone would do this. He thinks this is his... They still think I'm Vic's agent, right? They think that I'm acting at Vic's request. They don't get it. They don't get it. I have to be. Because he's supposed to be dead and no one acted this way for us. I wonder if you will ever admit you were wrong. Wrong about what, Ron? when he has to pay $500,000? You taunted how expensive this would be for us, but did you ever consider the cost for him? Yeah, I created a GoFundMe. This is what I was talking about with the footprint, man. Before going to war, you count the cost. It's not my war. It's not my war. I can't make him file suit. I can't run the lawsuit. I'm not his attorney. I'm not him. Why don't you understand this? I didn't cause this. You did. Look at this fucking failure to own his own actions. An abject failure of humanity. He cannot. This is a guy who talks endlessly about accepting responsibility, about owning his past, and he won't own what he did. He wants it to be my fault. It has to be me who did it, because it couldn't have just been that he's awful and his wife, fiance is awful. It couldn't possibly be that. It must be this lawyer in Minnesota who made it happen. I'm sorry. You're wrong, Ron. When it's about money, don't go. When it's about principle, get ready for a long siege. No self-awareness. He was worried about money lost and people took advantage of that. YouTubers who wanted content. What? He was worried about money lost and people took advantage of that. Look, YouTubers take advantage of everything. Anything and everything. We're trying to talk to people. These are businesses. We are some level of news, like in this circle, we're some level of news outlet. We're trying to get information to the community. That's what we're trying to do. You guys wanted it all swept under the rug. You wanted him to go off and eat a bunch of cyanide pills or whatever. That's what you wanted. Didn't happen. Yeah, YouTubers made money off of it. Oh my God. Oh, stop the presses. Somebody made money off of something going on. Whoa. We fought for transparency, and I wonder why you all are nervous about revealing the details of the GoFundMe. Why the desire to hide? Oh, GoFundMe again. GoFundMe again. Still at the 273,178. Again, you can donate to gofundme.com/F/Vic-Kicks-Back. Again, this is a huge miscalculation. Not a single thing about the GoFundMe has been hidden. Not a thing. Everything is up front. Everything is in the open. Everything about it has been honest, has been open, has been upfront, is on the GoFundMe page. Every single bit of it. You just don't believe it. That's your problem. It's not mine. Nervous about the GoFundMe deals? No one's nervous about them. I talk about them all the time. I correct you guys on how incorrect you are all the time. Super Saiyan Surd says, sorry, Nick, for not explaining while I was talking about me. I love Nick. Oh, thanks, buddy. Sorry, what did... Oh, you're fine. You're fine. You don't have to apologize to me. I don't even accept apology. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Thanks, buddy. Nova Zero says, Martinez, please. This one's for the lawyer who fights for the fans. Oh, wait. These one's for the lawyer who fights for the fans. I think that's what you mean by Martinez, please. Oh. It's not a troll account. It's the real one, guys. Why the desire to hide? There's no desire to hide, Ron. There's no hiding. If you try to subpoena me, I'm going to make it legally difficult to do so. Or if you try to depose me. Of course I'm going to. I'm a lawyer and an asshole. I'm going to make it cost you money. I'm going to ruin your day with it as much as possible. No desire to hide. It's a desire to exercise my right to be free from frivolous nonsense. That's it. What answer? What answer? You didn't ask a question I have asked. Wait, what answer? You didn't ask a question. I have asked you many, but you use a basic diversion tactic. Would you answer mine? I will answer yours. No, Ron, I'm not asking the questions you are, and you don't have the answers. It's a comment about how pathetic you are that after all this time, you still don't know these simple things. All right, look at me. I indulged myself. 3 messages in a row. You're listening to idiots who don't understand Gofundme. You don't understand Gofundme. Your lawyers are flatly idiotic in their misunderstanding, or Gofundme was supposed to be of F for typos. You think I'm afraid of revealing the details? I've been revealing the details from day one. You're an idiot. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know how to break it to him. And then another one. We fought for transparency. Those depositions were never meant to be public. Pick one, Ron. Pick one. We fought for transparency. We asked that the names and statements of witnesses be sealed. Oh, also our lawyer tried to dox you in his fake notice of intent to notice. I remember that one, Ron. Do you? Do you remember that? You asked for other people's information to be sealed, but then you tried to put mine out in public. You did. You actually sent that to your little cummy buddy Greg, right? Gobble, gobble, gobble. Greg gobbling up those Ron cummies. Disgusting humans you are. Ron, are you sure you know what you're talking about? I mean, of course not. Of course not. Let's start with why would it be a smart career move to sue people after you issue multiple public statements where you admit you need to change, that you messed up, and are reconnecting with God? We covered this earlier. I'm going to calmly state it. He didn't apologize for what you said he apologized for. He didn't do it. Not just sue the ladies who spoke up, but also a major studio. Yes, the one arguably whose tweet is the most damaging is Funimation's. Funimation's tweet makes it look like they investigated Vic for sexual assault and found him guilty, or the harassment and assault, and found him guilty and fired him. It's devastating to have that tweet out there. It devastated his career, his future prospects. Ignore all the cons. They canceled him up until then. Everybody, oh, and you helped, you little liar. You helped them all believe that that investigation concluded he was guilty of sexual assault and harassment, which he wasn't. They've said it in their own sworn statements that that statement didn't actually say that. You did, though. You did. You took a misunderstanding and ran with it to perpetuate a lie. And you claimed you had special insider info until you got a lawyer and they were like, what the fuck are you saying? Shut up now. And then you retracted that. You're a liar, Ron. You've lied so many times in this process that it's embarrassing. You're a liar. You're a perpetual liar, habitual liar. Why anyone would believe you is a mystery to me. What career, Ron? You guys called him a serial sexual assaulter, sexual predator, and a pedophile. There wasn't a career left, and you know it, or you're an idiot. Smart career move. You ruined his career. Wasn't going back to Funimation or Rooster Teeth. Unless he sued them and got them to settle. Maybe that's why he would do it. Maybe that's why. Maybe if he could have gotten one of the major studios to retract their message, clear up the misunderstanding, and just say they'll consider hiring him or working with him in the future. That's it. That would have been a great settlement for him. Absolutely fantastic. Would have rehabilitated the damage that tweet, which said what Funimation swears they didn't mean it to say, and you and your ugly fiance have gone ahead and run with the narrative of what it wasn't meant to say, would have undone some of that damage. That would have been great. Why would he sue? What a smart career move. Funimation could have made that statement and never hired him again, and it still would have been a good career move. Better than being forever a sexual assaulter fired by a company for sexual assault, which is what everybody read, including you. You still haven't answered the question. Oh, sorry, Ron. You don't get to manipulate me into doing what you want. I'm not a woman. I'm not a woman in your life, so you don't get to manipulate me, Ron. And no matter how many universal remotes you pulled out on me, I still wouldn't answer your questions. Why do you have issues answering these basic questions? Issues? Why do you have issues with me not answering them, Ron? What's the problem? Is it bothering you? Aw, it's too bad. While he messed up and failed to identify boundaries, that doesn't mean he lost all possibilities of a career! Right. Getting fired from the two major production studios and basically all of the conventions except one. I think just Matsuri kept him. And just about everybody else let him go. His career was fine. Sure, short term, companies wanted to distance themselves from him. Do you know what industry this is, Ron? There is no long term. Isn't one. Ask Stephanie Nadolny. Ask Tiffany Vollmer. You're out of work for a year? 2 years? You're gone. You vanish. Nobody cares. They're voice actors. I know you have an inflated sense, and inflated might be the right word, of Monica's worth, but most people on Earth have no fucking idea who voices a cartoon. The overwhelming majority of people on the planet have no idea who voiced what cartoon. They don't care. They don't care. You're gone for 2 years. New voice comes in. Most people don't care. And the studios know this. These are employees getting paid like 30 grand a year. Long term, he could come back. Why? By the time you come back, 2 years later, they've recast every role you're in, and they have plenty of other talent that can do your job. They don't need you. He was done, and you know it. If he did the work he said he would do in his public statements, that he would be banished for life. Everyone loves a redemption arc. No, not everybody loves a redemption arc. Redemption arc has to be supported by a significant amount of PR to matter. Significant amount. A huge investment in PR. One that you don't make for a $30,000 a year job. There's no redemption arc in this saga, in your weird fanfic where he prostrates himself before the gods of anime, you and Monica, and he begs for forgiveness, and you approve of him coming back to the industry that you don't have hiring potential in, hiring privileges in. You don't have any say over it. How are you going to get him back? He won't have been in anything. He'll have disappeared for 2 years. He'll be gone. Gone from conventions, gone from work. Oh yeah, real promising comeback there, Ron. Stupidest guy in the room. Monica and I were 100% genuine that we would do anything we could have to help. All they wanted was for him to recognize he had faults and own up to it versus blame shift. All they wanted. All they. Who are they? They? That's a weird statement. Maybe I'll go ahead and send that on to, well, I guess it doesn't matter now, right? We'll see. I'll send that to Ty anyway. They sure sounds like proof of civil fucking conspiracy. All they wanted. We get past appeals. We get past appeals. That's an unfortunate statement. Who are they, Ron? Why don't you list them? Recognize he had faults and own up to it versus blame shift. You saw a response to Chuck's email. Yes, Chuck's email. Chuck owned that. Chuck wrote it. Vic didn't have anything to do with it. Look at this. This idiot is lying right here. How open she was about the prepared statement he and Vic worked on. Vic didn't work on that statement, Chuck. Wait, Ron? Vic didn't work on that statement with Chuck, Ron. Chuck did it. All by himself. He told you that. He said it. Just like you didn't work on yours with him. Or Monica didn't work on hers with him, right? Chuck wrote it up. Vic didn't write it. It had nothing to do with it. God, you're such a liar. That was all anyone wanted. How open she was about the prepared statement he and Vic worked on. By the way, they outright rejected it for Vic not saying he was enough of a rapist. They rejected it. I have the receipts. Hold on, I'm pissed off about this. This little fucking lying weasel. Where is it? Let me find this real quick. Let's see. Ah. Oh, wait, no. I'm wrong. Oh, here we go. I'm partially wrong. Okay. Let's, I'll show you. It's really annoyingly formatted because this is just how it comes out, but here you go. Here you go. Hey, Chuck, I hope you don't mind that I've CC'd Jamie on this email. Does he realize that all of this could have been avoided if he had just released this statement in the beginning? Of course, importantly, Vic didn't write this statement or have any input on it. Chuck wrote it. Here's what I don't understand. What is our part in this? If he releases this statement, what does that mean for us? That he'll drop any and all suits? I would need to know that before I agreed. If that's the case, I would love to make this work. Here are some things we would need, though. Oh, wait. A statement in writing stating that he would not sue us or our employers at a later date. A public apology from Nick Rekieta for the name-calling and harassment. Shut up, you fat bitch. The Gofundme funds to be either returned to the fans or given to a charity that deals specifically with sexual assault harassment. Let me know what you think. So, again, here's the problem. Vic didn't write it. And the statement was literally, I'm a rapist. I'm a sex addict. Addict behavior is by its nature hurtful and mostly unseen by the addict. I am working with a therapist to understand my addiction, which I'm pretty sure Vic didn't go to a therapist for sex addiction. Chuck made this up. And to get healthy. I've never intended to hurt anyone, but it is so obvious now that I did. To the people I hurt, there are no words that will suffice. All I can say is that this experience has permanently moved me towards a better path, and I'm doing my best to be a better person. I am sorry and will make amends wherever possible. The fans who continue to harass and threaten you. To the fans who continue to harass and threaten, you are not my fans if you do this. Your behavior needs to change every bit as much as mine does. Like me, you should be given the opportunity to change. I'm working every day to be the same on the outside. So throw his fans under the bus, call himself a sex addict. Oh, this is great. This is great. Every day to be the same on the outside as I am on the inside. I only ask for the opportunity to demonstrate that I have changed and to continue the work I so dearly love. I am canceling my appearance at Anime Matsuri, the only convention he had left at the time, and am taking a leave. So just break your contract. I'm breaching my contract. I'm taking a leave from all conventions appearances until, in conjunction with my therapist, I am ready to come back. I will take my recovery and return one day at a time. So there you go. Good job. Good job writing a statement that wasn't Vic's or anything like that. Let's see what Chuck says here. Oh, here's his statements for Funimation, for Marky, Real, and Toye. They have all those. Their legal team would require a statement from you guys. There's also the possibility of a statement from Funimation. I'm sure Nick would be on board. Didn't ask me. No way. I am not apologizing for shit. Fuck you. These are draft and all is discussion, and I would be very interested in any adjustments you'd require. Having no statement from you guys is a non-starter. Here we go. Hey Chuck, do they only want a statement from us if Funimation agrees to release a statement at all as well? If so, that's ridiculous. We cannot force Funimation's hand. If they would like to negotiate with us separately, we're open, but that statement is unacceptable. So again, their statement's unacceptable. What changes would you make? This is all preliminary work to see if negotiations are even possible, which I believe they are. Once there's a table set with possibilities, everything would go through the law firm. You would contact them when you're ready. There's only a couple days left to figure out a deal. Please don't mistake this as some weakness on their part. This is my efforts to try and stop something I know will be very damaging. They have a full court press prepared that is not a minor effort. They will be extremely thorough in both legal and social spheres. I've discussed it with them. They have the statements and have given their input. I'm pushing as hard as I can on both ends. This should tell them. They should know. Vic had nothing to do with this. I'm pushing as hard as I can on both ends to try and meet in the middle. Please note the disclaimer at the bottom of my emails would be serious breach to be sharing with outside parties the contents of this negotiation would likely scuttle it. That statement is not true. We will not make any statements that are not true. Well, let's read theirs real quick. Let's read theirs. Things have gotten out of hand, and some form of working together is the only way to solve the split that has fractured the fandom we all love. This statement intends to start that healing process. So that's not true. Some of the ways we've spoken out against Vic have been over the top. That's not true, according to them, and have done harm to victims of sexual assault by making it more difficult for them to come forward. They say that's not true. So many of you have reached out to us to tell us your story is not related to Vic, and we encourage you to continue. That's not true. They don't encourage that. We agree that everyone has a right to demonstrate that they've changed and that Vic should be given that opportunity. That's not true. That statement isn't true. You're a liar, Ron. You said that statement's not true. Well, Monica said that statement's not true. Sorry. Our zeal to protect all victims of sexual assault, moved by heightened social attention, has caused us to misunderstand and misstate stories regarding Vic, indicating that they were akin to criminal offenses when they were inappropriate advances. That's not true. They flat out say that that's not what happened. They're saying that stuff. Now, if they're ever trying to mitigate, it's a lie. Our intention has never been to destroy Vic, but to help him realize his behavior and to lift up victims who have been hurt. We're willing to start again and ask everyone to join us. What about that statement is such a problem for them? Ask yourself genuinely. Let's remember what they said. The statement, oh, that's Marky. That statement is not true. We will not make any statements that are not true. We will not make any statements that are not true. That's not true. It's not true, Ron. You're a liar, Ron. Look at this. Look at this. How open she was about the prepared statement he and Vic worked on. Again, Vic didn't work on it, and you weren't very open about that other prepared statement. You said it wasn't true. But what's interesting is what's in that statement is what's in your text to me here. You're a liar. Ugh. Okay, sorry. That was all anyone wanted, but he needed others to make false statements, and that is what showed us he wasn't serious. He didn't write them. He didn't even have input on them. Chuck Huber wrote them. I'm betting he was just as dissatisfied with his statement as you were with yours. But what's interesting is everything in the statements that you're saying, you're putting it here. Well, he wasn't a monster. He maybe just misread boundaries. That was in the statement. Monica didn't make it harder for victims to come forward. Yes, she did. Yes, she absolutely did. That is a load of crap. A person who handled accusations in a great way is a guy from LA. He didn't blame, he owned his portion and is doing the work. I talk with him on a regular basis. Oh, that person that, who is that, Ron? What person in LA? I'd be curious to find out what person in LA. Is it the one your fat fiance got thrown off of a panel? Is it that one? I'm not kidding when I say I think everyone deserves a shot at redemption if they are willing to invest in the long-term steps it takes. Again, it's you. It's you. It's not you. You're not the arbiter of this. You're not that important. And we're not that into you. You have attempted to paint us as monsters. Oh, here we go. And that isn't the case. I would love to have a chat with Vic, but he didn't take me up on that offer in February. I always wondered why you didn't cover that on your show. I think I did cover that you called Vic in February. I think I did cover that, but I mean, maybe I didn't. Wasn't that around the time that you called a law firm on a Saturday and then never called back? But you are monsters. Shockingly, apparently Vic didn't want to talk to a person that he doesn't know who has spent, who spent a bunch of time on Twitter calling him a sexual predator. Weird. Oh, who's ruining his convention appearances. Oh man, didn't want to talk to that guy. To work it out. We'll work it out. What are you gonna say? Time to punish myself a little bit. Ugh. Ron, he didn't lose any possibilities of a career with his boundaries issue, real or imagined. lost his career with a bogus HR report from Monica and you repeatedly painting him as a sexual predator. It wouldn't be up to you to give his career back. You're just a real estate guy. You are monsters if for nothing else than your delusion. Ugh. Boo you. Okay, someone's telling me to do the GoFundMe. Whoa! Whole bunch of y'all donated. So there you go. Let's talk about this. Eggs Benedict, Brittany DeBeer, Pedro Santiago, Ronald Kyriamore? Sorry, I can't pronounce that. Kyrie Moore. I'm going with Kyrie Moore. Like Kyrie from Mr. Kyrie Moore. Anonymous, Justice Kincaid, Chase Alberts, Lone Eagle, and a big donation from Anonymous as well. Thank you, guys. We're closing in on 274,000. We're at 273,898. Good Lord. Thank you, guys. So, what is this? What is this? Hold on just a second. Okay. We've got new merch, guys. Sorry. My man Tillip has been hard at work during the stream. We've got some new merch. Let's take a peek. Hold on. Let's take a quick peek at this. Sorry for the break. Here we go. Here's official merch. Something sexual. You can get something sexual. If you need something sexual to maybe whisper into someone's ear. If you don't know what it is, but you definitely need to whisper something sexual, or if you want it. We have a canvas print of something sexual. What's this? An indoor pillow? There's a poster, something sexual poster, a fleece blanket. You can get a something sexual blanket, a beach towel, a poster, and a wall tapestry. I don't know. These seem pretty expensive. Let's read the description real quick. Is your house, apartment, or chud cave missing something to give it that little zip, that little spark or oomph needed to really seal the deal with that guy or girl, no judging, you invited over? Well, I got the canvas print for you because nothing says sexual energy as 300-point Lucia Sans Unicode font type. That's a graphic design joke, in case you missed it. The something sexual can really tie a room together. You and your date can rest your heads on the indoor pillow, snuggle under the fleece blanket, and dampen the sound of potential activities with the wall tapestry. You might ask, what if me and my date go to the beach? Well, there's also a towel. And then when the moment is just right, you guys sneak off to a secluded area and sparks are about to fly. Just lean in and whisper in your date's ear, something sexual. There you go. You guys can check that out on the Teespring store if you want. Maybe. Okay. We got to get that on a shirt too, I think. We need a shirt. On a wife beater. That'd be funny. So there you go. I'm going to read a little bit more and I'll save the rest because it's getting late and you can see where we are. We're about 2/3 of the way done. I'm going to read Ron's comments and then we're going to stop. Ron's next spurt of comments. And we'll pick up with my response to him next time. Philip says, sorry about the price. It's honest to God as low as I can go for most of it. Yeah, the price basically is we're offering these things at like no margin, really. It's meme levels of margin. So if the price is too much, we understand. It's nothing we could do. Like Teespring just has a high base price on most of this stuff. So all right. Nick, do you realize his public statement was the first time he ever admitted to doing anything wrong, and he still doesn't know what he did? That's how backwards you have this. He did that on the 21st. Many major cons follow him and not me. Oh, yes. Here it is. Here it is. It's Vic's apology that caused the cons to cancel him. That's what it is. Here we go. It's the apology, not the social media brigade, not your fat fiance retweeting Han Leia's thing and giving that some credibility. None of that. It was his apology in which he doesn't apologize for the things you say. That's what caused it. Those posts he made had tens of thousands of likes, retweets, and comments. Yes. From his fans, by the way. I'm not even going to read those comments. I was tempted to do it. You find out that they would say, you've never, we love you, Vic. None of this is true. This is crazy. We support you. That's what you'd actually find on there. Go look for yourself. Just go look. His video of his apology where he recognized that he failed his fans by assuming everyone had his brand of affection. His words carry more weight than anyone else's words. No, they don't. If they did, Ron, you wouldn't have called him a sexual predator, Ron, because if his words carried more weight than anyone else, him unequivocally saying, I didn't do this, I have never harassed, assaulted anyone would carry more weight. But you're a liar, Ron. His words didn't matter. They never matter. That's why you don't make apologies to the fucking mob. You can't do it. You cannot apologize to the mob. You can't. It's never enough. Your words are never enough. They never matter. They never will save you. They won't. The only thing that will save you is vehement, abject denial, offense on your accusers, and a whole shitload of luck and good fortune. That's it. That's it. The Texan... Oh, wait. No, sorry. Let's go here. Jonathan Doe says, damn, this doofus pisses me off. Here's to the GoFundMe donation. Hey, thanks, buddy. Texan83 says, meet in February. Isn't that around the time this cuck was threatening to beat him up on Twitter? Yes. Why would he want to meet just for you to flail at him like a sissy bitch, Ron? You don't have the stones to face him, coward. Let's see. You can't see how him doing those things is what led to cons canceling him? No, because it isn't. And you know it isn't. Also, the cons canceled prior to Funimation tweeting, a point the judge had to illuminate for Vic. Funimation's tweet is generally defamatory. It's per se defamatory. A point the judge had to illuminate for Vic when he was on the stand. Oh. That doesn't mean he didn't suffer damage from it, you weirdo. How would that investigation and subsequent tweet cause cons to cancel prior to them coming out? I don't know that that's alleged at all, actually. This guy legit doesn't understand how defamation works or what damages even are. He has a lawyer that he's allegedly going to pay 180 grand to. He has a lawyer to explain this, and he doesn't. He's what? He's asking my advice on Twitter? You guys tried to paint this as our fault when it comes down to him. No, it's your fault. It is your fault. You still haven't answered the questions, and that shows either you do not have an answer that fits your narrative or you don't know the answer. What option of the two is it? Oh, Ron, that's a false choice fallacy. There are several other reasons I'm not answering your questions. Have you figured them out yet? Can't seem to figure anything else out, you dummy. You are correct. I know. I'm just a mortgage guy. So how would I be able to influence anyone to cancel Vic or hire Vic? Your whole premise is that you and Monica would help him get hired. You just defeated yourself. Congratulations. You played yourself. I don't, because that wasn't my focus. What was your focus? You tweeted 350 fucking times calling him a predator. What's your focus? What is it, Ron? My help would be just another guy who has been through tough times and point him in the right direction and be there if he needed someone to talk to. He doesn't know you. Why would he listen to you? You just called him a predator. You just asserted that him hugging someone was akin to him sticking his fingers in their anus. What is wrong with you? The narcissistic complex you have is insane. His Discord got leaked, and I believe that was the 16th or 19th. Yeah, please counter these false stories with positivity. With positivity. Of January. That's the last thing that he has there. So I'm going to blue ball you guys on the rest of it because it's 1:30. And we've got a significant amount. Oh, excuse me. A significant amount left. And I need to do some stuff. I need to finish Dark Souls, but oh my God. Twitch seems really daunting right now. Anyway. Final check on the GoFundMe. Oh, we broke it. $274,158. You guys are ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We've got Jose Vega. Anonymous. Javier Baez. And Jose Gonzalez. Thank you all for your donations. I appreciate you. You guys are wonderful. Thank you for doing that. Blowing it out. Absolutely crazy. We're almost at that 275K milestone. That's a big one. That's a big one. All right. Okay. Let me suggest humbly that I'm going to read super chats. I'm going to close out the show, and then I'm going to go get some food. I may or may not do Twitch. I hate being waffly on this. I really do want to, but I also have some stuff that has to be done by tomorrow. It has to be done tomorrow, and I'd like to get a jump start on that. And unfortunately, it's stuff I have to get done. So I don't know if Twitch is going to happen. I don't. We'll see. We'll see how I'm doing. If I'm going to be on Twitch, I'll announce it. But please don't like hang around expecting it to happen. I felt really bad last night that I said there would be Twitch and then I fell asleep. So I'll see what I can do. Ace Attorney. Oh, God. Twitch tomorrow, 100%. Twitch tomorrow is true. It's going to happen. That is a thing tomorrow because the stuff I need to do tomorrow will be done. So Twitch will happen tomorrow. All right, let me read these chats and then we will wrap up the show. Thanks. If you peace out, again, thanks for hanging out. I wanted to have that Second Amendment panel this week, but that got completely ruined by the sickness and my exhaustion. So I'm gonna set that up as soon as I can. But that's not gone or forgotten. It just because of the illness with my kids and my general inability to function this week has just pushed it back. When's Ace Attorney? I don't know. The problem with Ace Attorney is I kind of hate it. It makes it really hard for me to do it. I'll try and commit to next week to do that. Okay. All right. Sigma Zero says, do we all holy rights? What? Excuse me. Do we all holy rights? Let there be sung non nobis and te deum, the Eurocucks with charity enclosed in clay, and then to Calais and to England, then where ne'er from Belgium arrived more happy men. All right. I agree. Khan says, I was Vic's handler twice. He would say something like, are we going to take a photo? Before he approached the majority of the time. Ron Monica also performed sexualized lines in front of minors, kissed and hugged them. Guess she needs help too. I mean, she does need help. Lots of it. Hellsnake says, oh my God, Ron, you are a fucking retard. Get some help and save face for what you did to poor innocent guy that has more friends and fans than your cunt fiance Monica. Ooh, ouch. Dang. Pro Hero All Might says, I was at a drive-thru when you said, shut up, you fat bitch. I had you on the speaker and the lady taking my order thought it was about her. Pretty sure she's fat in my chili fries. Thanks a lot, Rekieta. Oh no. Oh no. Sorry, buddy. Chad Manning says, so Sabbath can diddle kids and yet Vic can't hug consenting fans. Oh, gross. Gross. Bad Vibe says the brown bottle flu has evolved into coronavirus. Some nobody says, hey, Monica, you fat bitch, tell Marky I said oink. Some nobody says, why so many farm animals voicing at Funimation? Ooh. Casting Coach says, hey, Nikki, your constant chatter about 40K got me to dust off my gray nights. Not sure if I should thank you or hate you for it. Exterminatus. Hate. Always with hate. I can't get enough hate. Big Red Bear says, Ronversations 2 Electric Boogaloo? Or is this the People's Republic of China version of Ronversations mixed with coronavirus? Yes. Irie Ice 36, welcome to subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much. Some nobody says, what's up? Is Monica's calorie count? Lol. Hamburger pig something emojis. Crom Iron Skull says, was going to give 20, but in the last Ron video showed artwork and it had nothing to do with anime titties or orcs. $10 penalty this time. Great show as always. I'll get some anime titty artwork for you and orcs. Some nobody says, Ron, you pretend married a horse person. Think about that. Stooge Muffin Stuffin says the parody account for Funimation was gold. Rip. Aw. Some nobody says, Ron, this is all at your expense and it's hilarious. I love Adblock says, some of you are all right. Don't come to the stream tomorrow. Red flag me up, fam. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Basement Troll Production says, Yongye is reporting that Blizzard is refusing to refund Warcraft 3 Reforged and may have broken Australian consumer laws. Tagged you on Twitter. Thoughts? I'll have to look at it. I'm not familiar with Australian consumer laws, but I know that EULAs that's why I confine my EULA discussion to American consumers. It's different in other countries. Tickle My Tombstone says, Conslut won't shut up about Todd on Twitter. Oh, wait. Conslut won't shut up about Todd on Twitter. Thought she had a restraint. I'm pretty sure she just wants to use Lemoise's neck rolls as a sleeping bag. Ew. Ew. Donald Michael, welcome to the channel. Thank you. The Jamaican Kink Guy says, hey, Nick, did you see the guy wearing the Twit Lawyer shirt on All Elite Wrestling Dynamite last night? No? Keep the fight. Good fight for Vic. Ron Soyboy is a super cock. If anybody sees that, can get a screenshot or whatever, please DM me on Twitter. I'd appreciate that. That's hilarious. Christopher Sanford, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. GR People says Superpower India is the first place to rid itself of coronavirus. Sadly, the patient died. Austin Heartless says, sent a DM on Twitter. I have a different tag there. Okay. I'll see if I can find it. Some nobody says the saddest part is that Pussy Ron thinks he's tough. Colosign says you are now consciously aware of your breathing. Oh, dang it. Ash Ukahime Says, hey, Nick, will you drink one for my dad? Today makes another year since he passed away due to brain cancer. Even if it's been 17 years, I still miss him. He used to drink whiskey. Wish I could, but I can't. Here you go. Here you go, buddy. That was a garbage whiskey, and I apologize for it. That's just what's in my cup. Sorry. Changus Khan says, Pumpkinhead is still better looking than Monica's feet. Ransu says, getting married and having kids will make you happy and solve all your problems. It'll create a whole bunch of new problems, but I will agree that largely it's a good thing. Broly the Mighty says, I just found out a cop was targeted by Kick Vic. I wanted your opinion on it. You know, I mean, heaven forbid you have an opinion, right? If they can dox you and mess with your life, they do. It's amazing. They try and blame me, who has never doxed anybody, for what other people do, and then they themselves actually do try to ruin people. I haven't tried to ruin anybody. I've always said don't harass or bother or engage these people. I didn't even engage Ron. Ron engaged me. It was a struggle snuggle. I don't want to talk to Ron. Never wanted to talk to him. What a weirdo. Chad Manning says, can we please get a Sabbath Sacred Ointment water bottle? God, that'd be great. That'd be great. Fluffy Side Up says, when are we going to get more dick on the show? That's a good question. I'll have to talk to him. We can talk about something. Maybe paying invoices on time. You son of a bitch. Dick out-donated me. What a cunt. Good Lord. Perception Check says, how might one go about doing a giveaway amongst the Leafs in the audience? I have no idea. I have no idea. I ate the juice says, your voice sexy, open up so I can lick your inner throat. Lick away. Broly the Mighty says, read my last super chat, please. Okay, I did. Broly the Mighty, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. Mike Downey says, Holmberg watching Nike commercials is like Nigerian kids watching Food Network. Aww. Accipiter Assizer. Accipiter Assizer. Ron and Monica are vile and disgusting liars. I agree. Some nobody says Monica had to run at some point. She's a legit Clydesdale. And Cybertaz says crying women are usually running from Ronnie. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yellow Flash 2 says, now we know Ron is always watching, lol. Lance Johnson says, do you think you and Vic can do a con together? I hope to be at a con with Vic this year. I don't know. We'll see. Some nobody says, Ron, String Bean Toye, the internet made me do it. Yeah, always someone else's fault. Mike Downey, oh, I missed this one. And I missed that one too. Mike Downey says, Sunday, Ron, the Sheepdog Toye versus Vic, the Chad Mignana. Only on pay-per-view. Changus Khan says, to whom and how much do I pay to get Ron Monica cucked by Drexel? I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to do that to him. Some nobody says, just get fucked, you little beta bitch. Donald Michael says, horse relations are wrong, period. I agree. Talon's here. Says, wow, Ron, you cuck. The only thing that feeds harder than you with a snack tray is Rosie O'Donnell's spoon. Oh, God. I'm like, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Some nobody says, the only orifice Ron understands is a horse's anus. Stooge Muffin Stuffin' says, please use this super chat to pay for a helmet for Ron. He needs it. Some nobody says, only people who want to see Monica are race goers. Oh, and then a bunch of horses. Hyrule 47 says, bang that gavel. Mr. DJ Fly High says, Ron is trying to go on the charm offensive. He's just unsurprisingly ungood at it. Robonex666 says, I have a fever and the only prescription is more gavel. Gelth Walker says, Emma Smith says, take a shot to deal with this, Nick. Oh, God. Oh, God. Mellow Coast, thank you for joining. Welcome to the channel. I appreciate it. Some nobody says, sexually predatory Clydesdale Monica Rial. Scary. And then a horse emoji. Robonex666 says, Ron has a BBC, Big Black Control. Hyrule47 says, if Jesus Christ himself came back, think how often he would have to ask for consent to save you. Holy shit, these SJWs make me want to do a violence. Don't do a violence. There's actually a voice actor who has told me I am responsible for the impending mass shooting at a convention. That somebody will mass shoot a convention and that it's my fault. I've been unironically told this by a voice actor in the industry. So there you go. That's what I get to deal with. Mario Carter 13 says, execute channel 66, the rise of soy guzzler. Bad vibes. Says, irony, kick Vic crying over false flagging on Twitter. Check DMs. Is that Emmett? I hope that's Emmett. God, what a chump that guy is. Let's see. Oh, that's Catherine Tewson whining about stuff she doesn't understand, which is normal for her. Let's see. Robert Hubert, in your best Gilbert Godfrey impression. Oh my God. Get fisted, Ron, with a medieval spiked gauntlet, you fucking moron. That wasn't a best Gilbert Godfrey. Sorry. I apologize. I'd have to work on that one. Some nobody says, take my several $2 and go buy Elderborn on Steam. Elderborn. Skeet Neat says, would it be wrong to make a Ron diss track by parodying Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive to Ron's wife beating? I'm not the moral arbiter of what is right and wrong. I'm not that guy. The DCV Titan says, Nick, this has got to be a troll account. The sheer level of lack of self-awareness just isn't natural. It makes a turnip look like a higher life form. I can only bring you what he brings me. Mario Carter 13 says, you should read Siege if you're going to war. Ron. AMV Alchemist 6131 says, Soy is so dense I'd be convinced he was envy in disguise, but even envy's not that incomprehensibly stupid. Toby Garton says, Nick, this is for the therapy you will need after engaging in the Ronversation. My brain is melting hearing this guy Ron Soye. I mean, out of nowhere. What made him mad? TLJ Screwjob says, ban universal remotes. Some nobody says, wait, is this stupid shit still coming in live? No. He hasn't sent me a message in a couple days since that last stream on the 28th. Towns here says, you never read my $20 chat. I did, though. I did now, but it was late. I humbly and profusely apologize. I don't know how I missed it before. Tell daddy how big you are. Says, Jesus, that apology statement sounded like a supervillain wrote it for a hostage to read at gunpoint. Some nobody says, yo, Chuck Huber, you're an effing retard, pal. Hope you know. Jen GM says, Ron is definitely inept. What other type of person has a list of self-help books than a person that needs help? Sucks those books aren't helping Ron. It's because he doesn't internalize the help. He just reads them, right? You can read all sorts of stuff and not gain or learn or grow. Jason of the Great Awakening says, if running for office can be used as a shelter from answering to crimes, maybe Ron should consider running for president of Cuckland. Some nobody says, want a shirt saying Monica off to the races. No, that's a little too direct. Internet Tab says, make a wife beater with a remote on it, please. That's funny. Dang it. Why did you think of that now? Talents here says, someone send something sexual to Jamie Markey. I must advise against this. Do not send anything to these people. Do not harass them or bother them. It is against my self-interest. But I must say, please do not bother or harass them. They're terrible. Let them be terrible in peace. Talents here says, oh wait, no. Internet Tab says, where'd he go? Dang it. The cons canceled before the funny tweet? What about the reality sponsorship threats to withdrawal? Yeah. Romeo Garbo says, you went full retard. Never go full retard. Robert Downey Jr. Malik Foxon says, Ron makes me want to pull my hair out. Deep dislike. Fluffy Side Up says, you know what would be really funny? If Vic motioned for leave to conduct mutual combat with Ron. I bet Ron would bitch out like Tonka. Trashtown TV says, hey Nick, my greatest joy in life is making people laugh. Hope I brought joy to you and everyone in the chat. I mean, joy or throat bile. And for the record, I would never put my tongue anywhere near Monica's bunghole. Oh, God. Ugh. I love Adblock says, Knickers rise up. There's a hard K in there. Rural says, as Ron, I'm not a cuck. Infernal Iris says, now we know why Ron chose Monica. Only tiny men can be jockeys. Plum Logan says, on tonight's Jack show, Cecil, EVS, etc., they mention inviting you as a guest at their Florida con. Oh, I'd love to go. That'd be great. Some nobody says, don't care if she loses 100 pounds, still goes on 4 legs. Christopher McMillan says, missed the show again, but I'll watch on repeat. Have a good night, buddy. Also, Ron the Soye Boye the Turd couldn't punch his way out of a wet paper bag. Oh, man. And Count Camps says, angry yelling at Ron, your moral compass is a roulette wheel. So there you go, guys. That's the show for tonight. Let's hit that outro like it was Ron's ex-wife and we were Ron. That's rude. That's rude. She doesn't deserve that. What's happening? All right, guys. Well, Talons here says, could Drexel turn Monica from a heel to a face? Come on. Stop it. Stop it. All right. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I really appreciate it. It's a fun show for me to do, aside from the rampant anger and frustration. I hear you. You guys want me to have Dick on the show again. I'm going to have Null on the show again. Happy to have both of them on at any time. Love both those guys. We'll see what happens tomorrow. There will be a show. Should be, unless something weird happens, like I fall asleep or whatever. Should be a show tomorrow. There should be Twitch tomorrow. Everything is coming back together and getting back into order. I hope to see you guys there. Thanks for hanging out. I'm blabbering and I'm going to stop. Listen to the song. I may catch you on Twitch tonight, but don't wait around for me. Please. Please don't. I'd feel bad. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Peace.
Sweat fast to make the law what we are now. Oh, the guests are all planet folks from Dundee to Drexel. They bring their perspective and spice to the mix. But the reason we're here and the one that we cheer is the one who is showcasing us his career.
Romeo Garbo. Romeo Garbo, damn it! Romeo Garbo says, what's my name, Nick? It's Romeo, I'm sorry. Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? My apologies. F.
Get unemployed, so pour out a glass for the team. from the white shores of Nairn to the hills of Glenlivet. There's no one who explains the thought better than Nick. So pour